this is just the basics, just a few basic strength training exercises to get you started in case you're thinking of adding some strength training into your workout routine if you've never done it before. And even if you have, these might be some good form reminders for you. So you've got your weights, and here we go. So I'm going to use the timer so you can work at your own pace. Eventually, as you go off, I always recommend starting with a challenging weight that challenges you to do between 8 to 12 reps. You can get 15 in and you're not struggling, you probably need to go up in weight, okay? All right, here we go. So we're going to take our weights, and we're going to start with a very basic compound exercise of squatting and curling. I always say most bang for your buck, so we do two things at once. If you need to just squat or just curl, then you practice that, okay? Here we go. So we're going to hammer curl, which means our palms stay forward, our palms stay in, and you squat down and lift the weights up towards your shoulders as you squat down. So everything kind of works in tandem. The palms are in, you're extending your arms in that full range of motion, you're curling up towards the shoulders, all the way down, straightening the arms, straightening the elbows, reaching your weight back into your heels. Okay, so from the side, squatting back and up. Now we're going to do what's called a deadlift. You're going to bend forward right here, keeping the knees just slightly bent, and pull up with the straight arm, the standing row. So here, pull the belly in and pull. You want to put your body weight into your heels as you lift up. Good. I'll do to the front in a second. So again, down, 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 belly in, pull up. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. We're going to go back to our hammer curl and our squat. And again, I'm going to face the side so you can see how far back I sit. I put my body weight in my heels. My heels never leave the floor. They are glued to that floor. I sit way back. I fully straighten my arms. I bring my hands up towards my shoulders. I keep my head up. Tension out of my neck. I'm breathing. On the next exercise, again, you want to really focus on using the core to get up. So you bend, focus on the core pulling in, drive the weight of your body into the heels and pull, squeezing the shoulder blades. Okay, so down, stand, pull, squeeze. Protect your back. If you're feeling back pain or strain, you're not using your core. And it's just probably from weakness, and we'll fix that. Okay, the next exercise is going to be tricep kickbacks. So you're going to take both weights in your hands, palms are in again. I'm going to stand to the side, one leg is forward, one is back. We're going to straighten the back leg a little bit, lean forward, and bend the front knee. Now you're going to bend and straighten the arms, and that's all you're doing. You're not swinging the weights or anything like that. It's bending, straightening, okay? That's what the tricep muscle is supposed to do. You always want to exhale on the eccentric motion. This is concentric, binding the muscle. This is extending or eccentric motion when you really are focusing on lengthening that muscle. Again, my head's not dropped. It's in what's called neutral. We're going to start right here with a lunge. Your back heel comes up, your front heel stays down. You go straight down and up. Now, even though we're not working the upper body and the lower body together, it's still a compound exercise because we're working multiple muscles of the legs. You also want to pull the belly in, shoulders are down, keep the palms in, the weight's just by your side. I'm going to turn to the other direction so you can see. Again, the back leg stays straight, my heel's still on the floor, I'm bending slightly forward, pulling the weights in tight. Keep it tight into the waist, extend, bend. Don't raise your shoulders up to your ears. Keep everything loose, neutral. You don't want to look down at your toes. Just keep your eyes forward, reach, and bend. No swinging, no momentum. Good, and we're going to lunge down. Shoulders are down. Think of opening up the chest and squeezing your shoulder blades together. Okay, again I'm going to adjust the clock. We're going to do bent over rows. Now there's many styles, many grips you can have. We're going to do palms in towards your body, a nice tight grip. So again, I'll pull to the side here, and you're going to squat down, and you're going to do what's called an isometric contraction, which is just when you hold the muscle in a contracted state. So we're going to bend our knees and hold in this little squat here. So we're working the butt, the legs, all of the above, the core, and you're going to squeeze and shoulder blades are pinching together. Okay, here we go. Core in. So you want to think of your belly like, I always think of it like a fist, like a hand, and I make a fist, squeezing those muscles together. Or you can think of it like a vacuum, sucking in. Keep those knees bent, keep the head in neutral. You don't want to drop your head down or look up. You can turn to the side and look at me like that if you want. And now we're going to do forward curls. Knees, with a releve or a calf raise. So palms are forward, and you're going to curl and come off the heels. Now you can always alternate arms if it's a little too much. It's a lot to ask. Balancing, oh goodness. It's up to you. Get way up off of those heels. Good. So we're going to go back to the row. I'm going to face you this time, but I'm not going to lift my head up because I don't want to strain my neck. Remember, you turn to the side if you need to. So we're going to squeeze, stay in that squat. And stand up tall, belly in, palms are forward. We're going to curl and rise up into a calf raise. Again, you can alternate the arms if you like. The key is to fully extend. You want to complete the movement. If you can't complete the motion, you need to go down and wait. If you're not fully completing the range of motion of an exercise, you're not getting the benefit from it. So really, it's pointless. It's much better to go lower weight and finish the movement. If it gets challenging, then you know that you're doing it right, but too challenging isn't necessarily good. Good. Okay, we're going to go down to the floor for a moment. I'm just going to show you a few more exercises. You want your weights and your mat. You're going to lie on your back. And for the compound exercise, we're going to do chest press with our hips raised. We're in a bridge. Now, if it's too much, you can just do the upper body, or you can always just do the lower body. It's up to you and what you feel you're comfortable with working. And you can do one set and one another set. So my hips are up, and I'm going to take both arms and press, and my palms are forward, and then I bring everything wide. Now, to increase the range of motion, you could do this on a ball, with your head on a ball, on a bench, something like that, so that you can bring your elbows past your shoulder height. But for now, we're fine on the floor. We've got our hips in the air, which is another challenge. Core is going to protect the back. If you need to keep the butt down, still, core protect the back. Here we go. So the eccentric motion is right there, pushing up. So that's when you would exhale. Now I'm going to switch to flies. So the palms are in and you open the weights to the sides and you bring the arms up. You want to keep a slight bend in the elbow, but not too much. If you're bending too much, your weights are too heavy. Exhale when the arms come together. My hips are in the air. If you need to take a break and keep the butt down. But just think of what I call imprinting the spine. It's a Pilates term, where you just press your back into the mat and keep the core pulling in to support your back. Okay, we're going to go back to the chest press. I'm doing everything twice just to make sure we get it right. Here we go. And rest. And hopefully you've noticed that breathing properly does help you perform the exercises. So we're going to inhale, open the weights, and exhale up. And rest. I'm just going to do a very simple core exercise, and then we're going to call it a day. I really wanted to focus on the weights, so let's just take the legs up, your belly's in, and as you're not swinging the legs, you are simply pulling the belly in and rocking the hips off the floor. So right here, you're using your core weight, or excuse me, your core strength to pull the hips forward. Okay, so you can practice this anywhere, anytime. Well, not anywhere. I wouldn't drop and do it in the grocery store, but you know what I mean. You don't need any equipment. You're just pulling the belly in and connecting that back to the floor, really pulling that weight. And you can even pull it up and hold and release. Don't hold your breath though. Good. And now you're going to bend the knees, hands behind the head, and you're going to extend your legs out. Now you can easily do 2 legs or change this into 1 leg at a time. I ask that you bring your legs back to this position. So you're not bringing the knees into the chest. You're keeping your feet and your knees aligned with the hips here. Now if it's too much, you can always, like I said, do 1 leg, or you can put 1 foot down and do this. Okay? You can also put your head down if you need to. Keep your back connected to the floor. You're going to pick up 1 leg and twist towards it, put it down, twist towards it, put it down. Make sure you're not closing off, you're keeping your elbows wide and really twisting.